Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind.
Good life. Good life. In a different land.
We are here on The Good Life Friday, and I just want to let you know I've been doing a lot of soul searching. I want to thank everyone for, continuing to follow me at the 11 o'clock hour. I'm going to start doing a little something different. We kind of get back to my roots. We had been focusing on persons, that exude the good life and finding a little bit about their history. We're going to redefine exactly what the good life is all about. Because I've talked to people, just to find out what their thoughts are. What do you think of the good life? What do you think it is? What is your version of the good life? And so many people, when they immediately think of the good life, they think of, a fast-paced lifestyle, the luxuries of life, very eccentric things. And yes, those are the good life on one level, but I like to open people's mind to living differently in the world. And that's what I want to do here on the Good Life Fridays. I want to redefine exactly what the good life is. Because for me, the good life is sometimes just very simplistic. It's being able to spend time with your family. It's having the financial security. It's having, relationships with your family and friends and employer or employees, all be very healthy relationships. Wellness Wednesday, making sure we're taking care of our health, mind, body, and soul. On Gumbo Talk Thursday, we talk with the ladies, and it's, knowing the hot topics, knowing the news, being well educated and being well versed on topics. So we want to open your mind to living differently in the world, and I have a very special guest today. I am so excited, and, there are no chance meetings, but I had a chance meeting with him yesterday, in quotation marks, because you were supposed to be here this morning. I did have a different show planned, but once we started talking, I was like, you have to come on tomorrow. You just absolutely have to. I have the leader of the NAACP New Orleans. I have Judge Morris Reed. Thank you so much for being here in the studio with me today.
Thank you for the invite. I'm certainly glad to be here and join you at the WBOK family. Huh?
I was actually at your son's law firm yesterday. We were doing some, we were meeting and, having conversation. And, he is one of the sponsors of The Good Life, so I want to thank him very much. And, we're kind of, I like to tweak things. And so he's going to be giving his his tips. What is it like, before we kind of jump in the story, what is it like to have your son follow in your footsteps, being an attorney?
Oh, it's exhilarating. I'm glad that Morris is a lawyer working in the community, helping people with their problems. Lawyers are social engineers.
I'm sure you've seen a lot in your years.
I learned from him, and I'm sure that, and I hope that some of my experience rubs off on Morris Jr. also. But it's a pleasure being in his company. He reminds me how energetic he is, and it's about the different generations with the millenniums, with my generation, and I think we benefit from that type of interaction in the law office.
And speaking of generation, we're about to get all up in your generation. I am so excited to have Judge Morris Reed in the studio with me today. He heads the NAACP, but you know what? Everybody doesn't start there. So when you were younger growing up, what was life like? What was society like?
Well, we lived pretty much in a segregated society. I grew up in the Third Ward section of the community, in Central City, as well as in the Lower Ninth Ward. My father was a longshoreman and by occupation, and a Baptist deacon. So I'm one of 12 children.
12?
And
really?
Yeah, my father, instilled in us a work ethic. I had a sundry of jobs working at Schwagman's in the warehouse, Kirschman's furniture store during the summer. I always had a summer job, but that was good because it kept me out of trouble. Mm-hmm. And then on Sundays we had to be in church, Sunday school in the morning and church half the day. And I played sports in high school. I attended.
Did you? What'd you play?
I played running back and defensive back. I played at Carver Senior High as well as Clark. I graduated from Clark High School. Bulldog. And also I played in junior high at James Durham. They used to bus us from the Lower Ninth Ward to Durham, past other junior high schools that were segregated white, and we attended school in the Central City part of the community. But that experience gave me a broad perspective on the various sectors of the community and the different cultures, and I had made a lot of friends across the city. Although we were somewhat territorial at the time, you know, the night warders couldn't go up to the third ward and the third ward, you know, from the Mighty Nine and all that kind of stuff. But it was enriching, and I think it helped me really when I ran for public office the first time because of the type of experience that I had in the various sections of our various neighborhoods, diversified neighborhoods. But I grew up in. I must say that. I had a modest upbringing, but I had positive role models throughout my life in going back to elementary schools. We had dedicated teachers who didn't spare the rod. I remember our teacher, Miss Thompson. I still remember the day in elementary school. She would leave the classroom and she would put another student in charge. And if you came back if she could return to the classroom and your name was on the board, that meant that you were subject to corporal punishment.
Really?
She would take you to the boys' room, and with her sorority paddle,
oh, like the real one.
she would put you on the wall and wear you out, man. And but you know, we took a lot of positive lessons from that. It taught us civility. It taught us how to obey rules, and of course, I took those lessons with me through life. So once graduating from high school from Clark, I went to Southern University on the lakefront, transferred to Loyola in my junior year and graduated with a bachelor's in sociology. Was a member of the police department for 5 years. The first year I got out of the police academy.
How was that?
Well, it was segregated.
I was about
pretty
to say,
much at
so
the
how
time.
was it being a police officer during that time?
Well, I'll tell you, if this would epitomize my first year experience, when my first roll call, I show up in the first district, that's in the French Quarter area on Basin Street, for my first day in the district. And all the white cops refused to ride with me because I was African American. So the supervising sergeant said, okay, Morris, you're going to drive me. Instead of telling them what they had to do as citizens, as employees of the citizens of his community, he compromised and said, "You're right. You drive me today. Don't worry about those guys." So that segregation, the department was in fact segregated, and we saw some spillover of that even when Dutch became mayor, and we had a run on his property by errant police officers who egged his house and painted racial epithets on his garage door. That happened. Riding in pickup trucks like night riders in Mississippi somewhere. But actually, Dutch made a civil rights complaint to the Justice Department against his police officers. And he was a commander-in-chief that they threatened his life. Nothing ever became of it other than, I guess, they documented it. But the police department...
But I'm sure it set a certain standard of I'm not playing with you.
Of course. Subsequent to that, Mardi Gras was canceled. You know, we went through that phase. And that was an experience. I was one of the class plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the city to hire and promote black officers. And look at the police department now. We have been through several African-American chiefs of police.
Right.
So the NAACP...
What has that been like for you to see that transformation?
It was interesting, but the NAACP was involved at the time. We met weekly at St. Augustine High School planning a civil rights lawsuit against the city of New Orleans for failing to hire blacks in any significant numbers and promote them and give them meaningful assignments other than, subrogating them to menial assignments under their white counterparts. The lawsuit was successful. But let me share this with you.
Please.
The lawsuit was prepared by these young lawyers from the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, and we've been trying to employ them to work on some other problems in the community now. And we were all sworn to secrecy. And they said, we're going to file this. The guys came in with the briefs ready to be filed on Monday in civil district court and swore everybody to secrecy at St. Augustine High School and said, we're going to surprise them and shock the mayor. And Moon Landry was mayor at the time. We're going to sue him for discriminating on the police department. Do you know, over the weekend, one of us broke rank, went to Moon's house, knocked on his back door, and said, guess what, Mr. Mayor? Black cops are going to file a civil rights lawsuit against you. the city on Monday morning. You always have one, right?
Are you serious?
I'm serious. That's part of our history.
What are we learning about this?
Yeah. So the lawsuit was successful, and it was settled many years later. I don't know. I think it took about 15, 20 years.
Too many.
But the positive effects we can see now. But Confucius says that let me see, something to the effect that you must have friction to polish a stone. Huh?
Absolutely.
The gem,
Absolutely.
You have to go through
How do we get
controversy, and
diamonds?
every great man has overcome adversity to reach the zenith, to climb to the mountaintop. So adversity, we just have to work to overcome, because and I see what's happening with Sheriff Guzman now. I went to his press conference, his state of the sheriff's office last week, and he is experiencing some of that opposition.
So what happened at the press conference?
Well, he announced that although there's funds available to build a mental ward as an appendage to his jail, that he's receiving opposition from it. And they're blaming him for deficiencies in the jail, but yet the city won't free up the funds for him to improve the facility, that for some of the things that they're criticizing him for. So he's pitted in a political battle right now with the city and in this federal consent decree. And he was looking for the community for assistance, and he touted the positive things that he's done at the jail. But it's just a constant battle, and we have to be mindful of opposition in the community that's stifling our progress, and be ready to stand up against those things. And that's what the NAACP is all about.
Absolutely. We are here on the Good Life Friday with Judge Morris Reed. If you didn't know his backstory and you didn't know his history, you're going to get it today. I have our lines lit up, and if you'd like to give him a call and, find out a little bit more about him, give us a call at 504-260-9265. That's 504-260-9265. I'm going to go to the lines. I have Miss Claire, who is a first-time caller of the Good Life. Thank you so much, Miss Claire, for calling. You are here on the Good Life, and we have Judge Morris Reed.
I'd like to know, Morris, how you doing? It's Claire from the 9th Ward.
How you doing, Miss Claire?
And I'm doing pretty good. I wanted to let them know that how your mother was more like a mother to me. I was at Jewel Lane Baptist Church coming up, but when I was working, she had the 2 kids of mine. I had 2 boys, and she never did go up on the price. You see, whatever she started out with me, I kept that, and you can't find that now. The nurseries cost a lot of money now. Used to more like let me go and get their baby shots, give them the Tylenol and things like that. So she really helped me out in the community too.
Oh,
I had another friend, Michelle Allen. She was another one. She had a son and a daughter, and so she kept our children and other neighborhood children besides the church people. But I just said I will always be close to your family because y'all are loving people, and she helped me a whole lot. She was more like a mother to me with my children, and I would never forget her.
Thank you very much. I love you for that. Mom celebrated her 87th birthday in October, and was with her last night for one of my brother's birthdays, who made 60 years old. And she commented that she didn't know that she was going to be on this earth celebrating her children's birthdays in advanced ages, like over 60s. But we love her. She's here in the city, and we spend as much time with her as we can. I was at church with her on Sunday. But she's very active, still active, and I know she's listening in to the program. But
boy, she really was like a mother to me, and I will never forget your family as long as I'm living. And I always will pray for you all, because you all really helped me out when I needed the help, trying to work a job with 2 children.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you really stood by me.
God bless you.
Y'all have a blessed one. Tell the class say hello.
I will.
All right.
All right. We always had a house. I'm sorry. We always had a house full with the 12 children that Mom and Dad had.
My dad was one of 8, but 12, that's 4 more.
Yeah. So obviously he spent a lot of time away from home working to feed us and clothe us. But Mom would take in students if you came to the city and you knew one of her children and you needed somewhere
How did you not know one of
y'all? But we had people always living with us from out of town, attending college at Xavier or Dillard, And one of them, just a lady, sent my mother $100 for her birthday, and she was so proud of it. She was talking about it last night. She said, Edwina, she is married with 3 children. She stayed with us for this, in 19 so and so. But those are loving memories, and it's good. It's good to be able to help people.
But you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Before we go on a break, I really wanted to touch on that point, how we used to take care of each other. I know my dad would tell stories about, how cousins would always live with them, and you're telling stories about how people would always live with you, and if somebody was down on their luck or somebody needed help, you took them in as family. I think that's something that we need to get back to doing, because I think we got away from it a little bit. We need to open our mind to living differently in the world and work as a community. And thank you so much for what the NAACP does, because I know y'all do that. We're going to get into that and a lot more. We're going to take this break. We're going to take this break, and we'll be right back. This is The Good Life. I am here with Judge Morris Reed. Let's find out everything about him. You do not want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Dillard University Office of Community Relations, in partnership with Progressive Baptist Church, New Hope Baptist Church, and Union Bethel AME Church, proudly host the Central City Community Health Festival, Saturday, April 9th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Progressive Baptist Church, located at 1214 South Robertson Street. This free event will feature over 60 vendors providing diabetes testing, healthcare screening, financial services, and more. There will be a gospel tent featuring Progressive Baptist Church, Union Bethel AME, and more. Food vendors, kids activities. This free event is one you don't want to miss. The Central City Community Health Festival, Saturday, April 9th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. For more information, call 504-473-1141.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
L&R Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, a state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you.
This is Jonathan Wilson, president of 100 Black Men of New Orleans. 100 Black Men is an organization dedicated to the development of our youth with the objective of making them self-reliant, independent thinkers committed to excellence. We mentor young men and women to be productive citizens. 100 Black Men supports health and wellness initiatives and promotes economic empowerment for our people. We call for the unification of public schools as a first step in ensuring quality education for our children. We urge you to join with us to make sure that New Orleanians control the destiny of our youth and that policies are created to ensure transparency, equity, and accountability for all. A true story of resilience should conclude with a single high-performing school district governed by local citizens. Contact the 100 Black Men at 208-9337 to join our efforts. Thank you.
Gentili Italian Pie is home to the $5 Family Happy Hour. Specials on pizza, wings, and drinks Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Gentili Italian Pie does fresh for the entire family. Salads, pizza, pasta, wings, and oven-baked sandwiches. Gentili Italian Pie offers lunch and dinner in a new, modern atmosphere surrounded by big screen TVs. Dine in or carry out by calling 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. Relax. Have a drink from the fully stocked bar or beer on tap while your order is made from the freshest ingredients. Gentili Italian Pie, 4706 Paris Avenue, is home where everybody knows your name. So bring the family to Paris and Marabou for the $5 Family Happy Hour, Tuesday through Thursday, 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's Gentili Italian Pie. Dine in or carry out. 504-826-9180. That's 504-826-9180. You gotta try the pie. That's the original Italian pie, located at Paris and Marabou in Gentili.
We need more police in all of our neighborhoods. That's why a yes vote for the public safety proposition is so important. It will raise the funds to hire and train more police officers. More police in our neighborhoods means safer neighborhoods and will reduce police response time to emergency calls for help. Vote yes and help our police and firemen protect and serve us. Vote yes on April 9th. Paid for by the New Orleans Firefighters Association, Local 632.
Hey, it's Chuck Perkins of the Conscious Hour on WBOK 1230 AM, here to tell you about mobile banking at Liberty Bank and Trust Company. You're always on the move, and they're here to keep up and give you the power to manage your own money from the palm of your hand. If you need to check balances, transfer money, or make a few transactions, mobile banking at Liberty Bank allows convenient and secure access to your money. Enroll today at www.libertybank.net and download their mobile app. Mobile Bank at Liberty Bank today, and keep the power in your hands. Liberty Bank, there's freedom here. FDIC, an equal housing lender.
WBOK 1230 AM, the People's Station.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind.
In a different land.
Go figure. The Good Life Radio Show is brought to you by Morris Reed Jr. If you have been hit in a car accident or charged with a crime, find morrisreedjr.net online. The Morris Reed Jr. Law Firm is a full-service law firm that fights vigorously to get you the money you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or you have been charged with a crime, make sure you reach out to Morris Reed Jr. and that their experienced, highly qualified attorneys provide you with expert legal help today. Call 504-488-HELP. That's 504-488-4357. That's 504-4357. I forgot the number. 504-488-4357. He's probably listening right now just because Ron and I said that's the one time, because that is the Good Life. So make sure you reach out to Morris Reed Jr. because he's your son.
Yeah. 588-HELP is the easiest way.
Yeah, 488-HELP. 488-HELP. Help.
504-588-HELP. Yes.
There you go. Make sure you open your mind to living differently in the world. We are here on the Good Life Friday. We have Judge Morris Reed. I'm so excited to have you here. You are heading the NAACP, and we have our lines lit up. We've had Major Tracy Riley. She's actually held through the breaks. I want to go to her first. Major Tracy Riley, welcome to the Good Life. You inspire me. How are you?
I'm great, and thank you for allowing me to call in to speak with Mr. Reed. He's a very busy man.
Hey, Major. How you doing, Major? Great to hear your voice.
Good. And I just want to get straight to it. You know, I'm out here fighting as the only black-owned business in the French Quarter who's been denied a permit. I've reached out to the NAACP local before your position, Mr. Reed, and I've reached out to NAACP Louisiana, the state. They're saying that they need the local chapter to contact them so that they can help and get behind our fight for economic justice here in New Orleans. Will you help me do that, please, so that we can bring attention to how the black business owner is being blocked from entering the tourism business here in New Orleans? Will you please call the state and say that we need their attention and their help to help get justice?
I sure will. I'll call Dr. Ernest Johnson office and speak with him. He's a very good friend. I journeyed with him during the summer with he and our national president. And Tracy, I know you've been fighting this battle for a while. We're fighting fights on several fronts, and we appreciate everything that you do, because what you do will reverberate to others who have grievances and that needs to be addressed. So I'll call Dr. Johnson. I have no problem at all calling him, and I'll prepare a letter and give you a copy of it, and sending to the state asking them to intervene on your behalf.
That would be wonderful. I think if we had the state and national attention to come in and help us locally, then we can bust through this institution that is blocking black business owners. A city, New Orleans, 62% black population, but less than 2% black-owned business. Those numbers are way upside down. So, yeah, that's what they're saying. Dr. Ernest Johnson is saying that that's what he needs, and they'll come in and help.
No problem at all.
I would greatly appreciate that.
No problem at all.
I'll leave my number with Lee, and hopefully please give me a call as soon as this show is over.
And Tracy, you know I have your number, so I'm going to make sure he gets it. I'm going to do it in the
Please
studio.
do.
I'm going to make sure we do it that way. Because that's what the NAACP is all about, moving our platform forward.
Yes. I hope, I hope so. Yes.
I know they may have other black businesses, but there's too few in the French Quarters. The last well-known business there was owned by the Vokelson family, Van Vokelson,
Yes.
Sonny Vokelson with the sausage.
Yes.
He's one of the first African Americans to have a business down Bourbon Street in the Quarters, but they really worked hard to get them out, and there seemed to be a concerted effort to limit the number of African American businesses in certain sections.
Right, because y'all remember Olivier's? They used to be right across the street
closed.
from.
They just stopped last year.
Exactly.
And, they were across the street from
the House of Blues.
House of Blues. Before the House of Blues was there, they
exactly.
were there. And now they're gone.
I'm on the corner just up from Olivier's,
right.
And I am now the last of
the Mohicans.
Less than 4 now.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't speak well about us.
It's not a representation of what the city looks like.
In the city, right. And
we've stumbled upon the process that keeps us out, and I'm here to expose it and fix it.
Well, thank you so much for what you do, Tracy. I'm going to definitely put you in touch and make sure you all have each other's contact information. And we will, at WBOK, are going to make sure that we stay involved in your story. I know you have a court date for next year, right?
Yes, I do have a court date, February 6, 2017. That's to get my property back. And just last night, we got our first offer from the ATC. They called and said they don't want to go to trial, which is what this case is poised to do, and they made an offer. I have not accepted it, but it's moving. It's time. And so I would love to have the assistance of the NAACP or the support, the backing. This is New Orleans after all, right? And so, and I say that because of the historical significance of the NAACP and what New Orleans specifically has meant nationally from the NAACP and the contributions they've made for people of color. So, we need to be in the forefront, take the initiative, and show the rest of the country how to get it fixed.
Absolutely.
In economics.
Absolutely, because I say this all the time. The only thing, somebody respects is your mind and your money. So thank you so much, Tracy, for your call, and we will definitely, put that connection together for you.
I look forward to hearing from you, Judge.
Okay, Major.
Thank
no problem at all.
Absolutely.
Because she's been before the body before. She's been before the membership committee and detailed her grievance and what she's been fighting for in quarters. And we all can benefit from it. When she's successful, and I'm sure she's going to be successful.
Absolutely.
Huh?
Well, speaking of, reaching out to the community, when did you find your passion for being, a community servant? Because you've kind of been doing this your entire life. You've always given back, and you're always, worried about politics and policy and, being a judge and making sure that, we have a voice in our community. So when did you kind of get bit by the bug? Was it when you were young? Were you telling people what you would do, between the 12 siblings?
When I was young, and I think I know it started in the church.
Mm-hmm. That's a good place to start.
It started
right.
in the church. And working, Sunday school, the youth summer programs that our church at Orleans Baptist Church, the lady referred to it, the sister referred to our church where I was baptized, and the family membership was disturbed by Katrina, of course. But I worked, volunteer, working in the breakfast program for Total Community Action when I was in high school with Sandra Marsland, and I see her occasionally at some of the community meetings, and she's active in the NAACP also. She's a member. But Justice and Beyond, I've gone to a few of those meetings and have seen some of the faces there. But we had a breakfast program. I don't know if it was spearheaded by what the Panther Party was doing in Oakland. You remember they started a breakfast program? Well, other social agencies emulated that. And they learned that some kids were vitamin deficient and weren't getting a nourishing meal at home before leaving to go to school, elementary school. And so some nonprofits started breakfast programs back in the mid-'60s. And I volunteered to go up in the morning and serve breakfast to youngsters before going off to school myself, to high school at Carver and Clark.
As a high schooler, you did that.
So you give back, and I believe in karma. I think what you do good comes around, and it benefits you and your loved ones, later on down the road. You know what I mean? So you try. We have to do that, I think it was just instilled in me from my parents. And we just tried to do what we had, the little that we had, because we were modest, working class family. But the doors were always open, and you were never denied a meal. And Mom was a good cook. Still is.
Right.
Doesn't cook as
and there was
as
a lot
much
of love,
now.
I'm sure.
So and we were never hungry, So it was a good neighborhood. We did for each other. And it worked out that way.
I know you told a little story during the break, but I want you to tell it now about, eating in your household, because that was funny.
What did I say? I shared a story with Ms. Carter. I said that my granddaughter has a little cubby holes where she stashes various snacks. When she comes to visit, she can find popcorn here and cookies there and what have you. But and she wanted to know where do we secrete our treats? And I'd say, Lord, Layla, we ate them all. They were consumed immediately.
There was never leftovers.
There was
with
no
12
leftovers.
people.
Yeah, with 12 people in the house, we were always competing to get to the food. If you waited too long to get to the table, you might get left out. And until today, I still clean my plate.
It runs over on.
Yeah.
Well, talking about cleaning your plate, you had a big plate, as an attorney and then as a judge. What made you want to take that next step into being a judge? Was it something that you saw in the community? Was there a need?
Well, I had a life experience as a youngster playing in our neighborhood. Police were so rough on us as young black kids growing up in the Lower Ninth Ward, and we never felt that type of close relationship with law enforcement authority, because we always felt like they were occupying force. When the police came into the neighborhood, you should get off the street, because we assumed parents would be horrified about the thought of their kid being brought down to the 5th District Station. That was the closest one, and being charged with anything. And you could be arrested back in the 60s for looking at a police officer too hard. And when I was about maybe 13, 14 years old, we used to play a game called Humpty Head, and it was sort of like a hide and seek thing among youngsters, preteens. And I remember after dark, and I remember running down in the alley, a neighbor's house a couple of blocks from where we were, and was messing around with youngsters, others my age, and police officers came into the neighborhood with a dog. They used to come in with these canines, and for the least provocation, it would let the dogs out on us, and it was large German Shepherds.
Oh my gosh!
And here I was in this dark alley, and this large German Shepherd came down, and the cop yelled to me, "Stop! Don't move! Don't move! If you move, he's gonna bite." And I just froze in my spot, and the dog came into the alley, roamed around me, and the cop came in and put him on a leash and walked him out.
Oh my gosh.
Gave some hard talks to us and told us to get up the street, and all for just playing in the neighborhood. So we were subject to that type of harassment. And for some reason, that incident sort of inspired me to want to be a cop, to bring something better to our community, because I know that we did have a few black cops that we saw, but it was not any great number. I don't even know if they had any offices. But I took that experience with me, and after going through entering Southern University on the lakefront, I learned of a program, little-known program, whereby if you were a member of the police department, you could receive financial aid to finish your undergraduate degree. They call it the LEAP program.
Wow.
And I joined the police department while I was at Southern, and enrolled into the LEAP program, finished my undergrad, and went to law school at Loyola at night and got a law degree. And worked 5 years on the police department, then went to drug enforcement. Worked in Washington, D.C. for the U.S. Department of Justice as a drug agent. And
you've done all kinds of
the
stuff.
rest was, then went into the prosecutorial field as an assistant U.S. attorney.
Did you all know all this? I know I didn't know all this. This is The Good Life, y'all. We are finding out the life of Morris Reed Jr. And when we come back, we're going to find out his new life as head of the NAACP. Make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back. Security keeps our family, friends, and event goers safe. And to do that job, they are looking for you. L&R Security Services is now hiring persons for the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival, armed and unarmed guards. All interested persons should contact L&R Security Office at 504-943-3191. Fill out an application at L&R's office at 3930 Old Gentilly Road. That's New Orleans, Louisiana. To become one of the proud workers of L&R Security, the minimum requirements are 18 years of age, a completed work application, and criminal background check, 2 forms of ID, whether it be a driver's license, a state ID, military ID, social security card, or other forms of picture ID. L&R Security is looking for qualified employees to assist in keeping the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival safe. They are looking for you. Again, contact them at 504-943-3191. 504-943-3191. L&R is always looking for armed and unarmed guards. If this is your profession, they're looking for you.
We need more police in all of our neighborhoods. That's why a yes vote for the public safety proposition is so important. It will raise the funds to hire and train more police officers. More police in our neighborhoods means safer neighborhoods and will reduce police response time to emergency calls for help. Vote yes and help our police and firemen protect and serve us. Vote yes on April 9th. Paid for by the New Orleans Firefighters Association, Local 632.
Frederick Douglass wrote, "It is easier to raise healthy children than to fix broken men." This is why Lil Dizzy's Cafe chooses to salute the 120 men of the Silverback Society for investing in themselves and leading the next generation of boys to a more respected, capable, and responsible manhood. Currently working with over 500 boys in 17 elementary schools in New Orleans, plus one in Biloxi, the Silverback Society's mission is to make sure every boy gets to learn the principles, methods, and pride of real manhood before entering high school. Founded in 2007 by Arthur Wadsworth and Lloyd Dennis, the Silverback Society has men from all walks of life, walking the walk, saturating our community with boys who are trained to think about and prepare for tomorrow. Lil Dizzy's Cafe is proud to acknowledge the leadership of these regular men who are doing extraordinary things. Together, this celebrated moment brought to you by Lil Dizzy's Cafe.
Are you looking for a better way to get fit? Bored with the same old routines? Looking for results or a way to instill discipline in the kids? Tiger Rock Martial Arts is the answer with Taekwondo, kickboxing, and self-defense classes. Tiger Rock diversifies your training in ways that allows individuals of all ages and fitness levels to feel like a champion. Join Tiger Rock today. TigerRockNola.com or 504-455-9694. That's 504-455-9694 with a 3-class starter pack starting for only $38, which includes your training uniform. Learn, grow, and succeed with Tiger Rock's 3 convenient locations: Old Metairie, West Bank, and Clearview. There's no better time to start gaining strength, skills, and protection for life than now. 504-455-9694. 504-455-9694. See you on the mat.
Hi, this is Norman Robinson. New Orleans East Hospital is open and providing quality health care in your neighborhood. The New Orleans East Hospital is bringing our finest physicians into a beautiful new facility where you receive compassionate caring service. Emergency room services at New Orleans East Hospital are some of the best in the region. To learn more, visit our website at noehospital.org. Your health matters to us at New Orleans East Hospital.
Are you satisfied with your current financial position? My name is Kenneth Barnes, President and CEO of KB Enterprises, where we specialize in putting together step-by-step financial action steps for your plan for today and for tomorrow. Whether you're 50 to 85 and need assistance with your final expenses, we have coverage options for every situation. Let us put life back into your finances. Call us today at 504-914-1202. That's 504-914-1202.
Talk radio heard around the globe. New Orleans owned WBOK 1230 AM and WBOK1230AM.com. Real talk for real times.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to The Good Life with me, Eileen. We are here on The Good Life Friday, and we're here to open your mind. We are living the good life this morning. We are here with Judge Morris Reed. I have found out so many things I didn't know about you, and I'm sure our listeners didn't as well. We are definitely living the good life. And the good life has extended over to the NAACP for New Orleans because they are very blessed to have you at the head of that organization. And I know you don't do it alone, but, you know, the leadership behind it really makes a difference. So I want to thank you from the community for everything that you do. And so I know you have a lot of stuff going on right now. You were telling me about something last night. I know you have a golf tournament. I know you have, I'm looking at these little interacting with law enforcement cards that I know I want to talk about. So I'm going to just let you, you know, kind of list some things that you're going through right now, and then we'll dive into them.
Well, I said I've been inspired to work for the NAACP because I benefited from all of the efforts, all the legacy of individuals who laid down their lives, went to prison for us, and the civil rights movements, the Medgar Evers, and all of the great civil rights individuals who fought in the forefront of the struggles back in the 60s alongside Dr. King. But I just felt like I had to give something back. But we are involved. We are active. You can still join the NAACP for a year for $30 or receive a subscription to
$30
Crisis Magazine for a year.
What number do we have to call?
Oh, you can call 822-8515, 822-8515. We're located directly across the street from the old 35 High School in Tremé on Murray between Calarac and Columbus.
So on your way to the French Quarter Fest, go join the NAACP.
Right, in case you got to call and someone mistreats you, and you're going to be calling us. We get calls all the time about police brutality and what have you. And along the lines of police brutality, marching with our president this summer and Dr. Ernest Johnson on a journey for justice to protest the killings and beatings of young black males all over the country. The NAACP developed that book. It's called the 411 on the 50, and it gives instructions to young African-American males and anyone who reads the book on how to conduct yourself to safeguard your personal safety when confronted by police officers, because we know some cops can be bad intentioned. So it's things like don't make any sudden moves, don't argue with the cops on the street, don't try to plead your case, wait until you go to court on Monday or the next week and with your lawyer. You cannot win with a guy who has a gun and you are stopped at 2 o'clock in the morning and with no witnesses around, and there's going to be 2 cops telling the judge what they claim you did or said. And it's going to be you're lonesome unless somebody passed with a camera, with a cell phone, and has the courage to take some video or audio. So, but don't try to fight with the police, argue with the cops out there on the street. That's not the place, and that's not a safe thing to do. Obviously,
y'all want this booklet. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to read the beginning of it. It says, while we must support effective law enforcement, we must also exercise our constitutional rights to ensure law enforcement works as it should, to protect all Americans regardless of race or ethnicity. This guide offers helpful suggestions on how to interact with law enforcement to reduce the probability of conflict. Y'all, it is pocket size. Everyone needs one. I mean, you need it for your children. I'm not kidding. I took one for Aiden. You know, they tells you what to do in different situations. If you're in your car, these are the steps to follow. If you're on the street, these are the steps to follow. In your home, these are the steps to follow. And if you are arrested, if you don't have one, you need one, you can contact, how can they contact you to get this again?
822-8515, or if you call my son's law office at 488-HELP. 488-HELP.
They will help you. 488-HELP.
Because Morris, he chairs the grievance committee, our legal redress committee, where most of the complaints come about police brutality and job discrimination. So the NAACP is a historical civil rights organization, largest one in the country, branches in most major cities in the country that fights discrimination, racial discriminations of all types, and on the job, in the work environment, while you're shopping or what have you. So we get calls about folks being discriminated in business environment. Housing, of course, you know. We're working right now with, and I hope to come back in some time and talk about the toxic waste dump.
Yes.
Well, everyone has been watching 2020, and we know about Flint, the lead in the water supply in Flint, Michigan. We're working with a group of citizens who've been fighting for 23 years to looking for justice where their homes were built on a toxic waste dump. And they have a 92% cancer rate.
That is
half of them have perished, and they're still fighting to get justice to be removed from that dangerous situation, deadly situation, and so their children and their descendants don't suffer what they're going through right now. So hopefully,
but the effects of it are in their body, so
it's in their bodies already. So the 2 officers who spoke to the NAACP board meeting on Wednesday, both are cancer victims, are fighting the disease right now, and so many.
You were telling me some of the children had tumors and were
tumors in their ears, came home from school with nosebleeds. They've identified 150 chemicals that their subdivision was built on, 50 of them carcinogenic and deadly. And these people are still there fighting, trying to get relief. And we have to do something for them. You know, we have to do something for them.
I have some listeners calling, and they want to make sure that you repeat those phone numbers so they can reach out to the NAACP. Y'all, it is $30 to join. Did y'all hear me? $30. Y'all spend $30 on coffee at Starbucks in a month. Y'all can play around if you want to. That's nothing. Y'all are going to spend that at the French Quarter Fest. Make sure we talk that talk all the time, but we need to walk that walk. That's $30 to join the NAACP. So give them that number about how they can do that again.
822-8515. We're located at 1462 Murray Street, right off of Esplanade, between Esplanade and St. Bernard Avenue. We have a banquet coming up, our Freedom Fund banquet, on June the 11th. At Xavier University Auditorium.
XU.
Yep. And
will you give us that date again? June
the 11th.
June 11th.
Saturday, June 11th at 7 o'clock. Last year, our guest speaker was U.S. Attorney Kenneth Polite.
Yes, I love him.
We're trying to get us a good speaker, someone that the community is interested in hearing from. We also, that will be followed up by with
And
a
so
golf
you need
tournament.
sponsors for that as well, right?
Oh yes,
So
the tickets will be
all
$75.
all y'all businesses out there, they need sponsors. So what's that number to call?
822-8515, 822-8515. And just email me at mauricereed49@gmail.com, mauricereed49@gmail.com. We're going to follow that up with the first annual Freedom Fund golf tournament at the historic Joe Bartholomew Golf Course, one of the few African-American golf courses in the country.
Absolutely.
Built by a man who couldn't play on the white courses, built the white courses at Metairie Country Club, and had to build one in his backyard to be able to play golf in his city when City Park was segregated. Joseph Bartholomew, and we are honored to be able to have a golf tournament there on June the 25th at 8 o'clock a.m. So we ask those golfers to come out and join with us.
I'm going to drive the cart.
Green fee. You can drive the cart. It'll be $100 green fee. Most of that will go to the state conference in the ACP and the New Orleans branch in the ACP. But we plan to have fun. We can have
so
fun.
So for
while
$130, they can golf and join. There you go.
1 year membership to the Crisis magazine, started by the great Dr. W.B. Du Bois. You get a perks card. You can vote for the NAACP Image Award. You can get discounts on rental cars and hotels, all with that $30. That's amazing.
Really? Oh, wait. Repeat that one more time. Wait, so what do we get for $30? Y'all can play around, but y'all better do it.
You get memberships in the NAACP New Orleans branch, and the national branch, national office also.
Okay.
And the state branch. Our state conference. You get a discount card where you get discounts on products at rental car companies and hotels. You get
I paid $30 just for that. I mean, I know
quarterly
to help.
subscription to the Crisis magazine, a historical magazine that brings you important information impacting the country and the world, dealing with African American and colored people, and you cannot beat that. And it's educational. We have a website you can access for the local, the national office, all type of educational program. Now, we got something that's very interesting for people with young children who are interested in the STEM program, science, technology. It's called AXO, and it's headed up by Dr. Brenda Jackson at SUNO. If you have a talented kid in your family and you want them to be involved in wholesome after-school activity, get in touch with Dr. Brenda Jackson at Southern University, because it starts off with local competition, goes to state, regional, and ends up in the national, where they give youngsters as awards for their talent if they win the competition, upwards of $50,000 or $100,000. Some of these kids are able to win. But you're competing with youngsters and talent all over the country. So I guess it's a little something like one of those talent programs that we have on TV.
Yes.
But it's within the body of the NAACP membership. And we'll have a youth division also. It's $5 a year to be a youth member.
Really?
$5 a year. And you get access all of those facilities that the NAACP offered. A magazine subscription.
So it's $35 for myself and Aiden.
That's right. For the year.
And what a better way to, open our children's mind to living differently in the world and to get them involved in these type of organizations early.
Right.
Early, y'all.
Can't hurt.
Can't hurt, absolutely.
So, and there's local activity, state activity, as well as national activity. The national convention will be in Cincinnati, Ohio this year, close to the Democratic Convention, and we're asking folks to get involved with our NAACP. Is here. We're your neighbors, and we're here for you at a time of crisis. 822-8515.
You know I was about to ask you for that.
Yeah. 1462 Murray Street in the Treme area. And it's interesting that we really got our eyes on what's going on with the gentrification. Because the house next door to our headquarters sold for about $80,000 before Katrina. Guess how much that house they're asking for that same house now? Creole Cottage.
How much?
$500,000.
Are you serious?
I think
that's a nice come up.
I think they're trying to push poor people out of this community, and we have to be mindful.
$500,000 from $80,000?
A block and a half off of St. Bernard Avenue on Murray Street, across from 35 High School. $499,000.
If y'all can see my page right now.
So I know a lot of us won't be able to afford it, but there are people coming in the city buying those homes, and they don't look like us.
Right.
So we have all kinds of battles taking place. Chemical waste dumps that our people are dying from, this gentrification assault that's taking place, moving us out of our neighborhoods. We need an active NAACP branch in our community. Problems like Major Raleigh is having, just trying to have a business a black woman trying to have a business in the French Quarter.
Exactly.
Where we see in-push of so many young other races of individuals with businesses. You know, we tried to open up a Subway on Napoleon and Ferret and caught all kinds of devil opposition. And now it's touted as a Ferret Street corridor for young business people. But I think there's very few African Americans there. So the fight goes on. You know, there's a silent fight and struggle still going on in the city, and we have to be mindful. We absolutely have to be mindful. We want to thank you. We had Judge Morris Reed here today, but you're going to be a regular on WBOK. Yeah. He just doesn't know. Once you come on my show, you know, we just kind of make you a regular. We're going to put you, you know, you stuck with us now. You know, Thank you so much for opening my mind and opening the listeners' minds to living differently in the world. And one more time, give us that phone number again. 822-8515. 822-8515. And make sure you follow me on our social media platforms because I'm going to put his information there as well. This is a Good Life Friday, y'all, and I'm out.